My name is Kim Hong, and I am the director of SheSays LA, and by day I am senior art director at Weber Shandwick. Tonight we have a remarkable panel of women. They're digital divas who eat, live, breathe digital, and they're going to share with us some great insights and tips into how we can effectively manage our personal and professional digital lives. How do you guys feel or react or deal with now that maybe you started off doing a Facebook page and it was your personal page, and now your clients are your friends?
I don't even think about it. I don't even edit it. I don't even think twice about it. It's very fluid for me. I mean, I won't cross a line and put anything that's intimate or something that I would only tell my closest friends. I'll push the boundaries a little bit just to almost be provocative.
I actually keep mine separate, but it's not the same as with clients and people working, clients and then your own colleagues. I have my personal Facebook, that's my friends and family, now my mom, apparently. But for Blog Out Loud, that is specifically for Blog Out Loud, the brand. In fact, my co-founder Megan and I, we are Blog Out Loud, that's our name on there, and we always post things that relate to Blog Out Loud.
Has anyone else had a situation where they maybe posted something or heard of a story where someone should have posted something that maybe, that they got reprimanded for, anything like that?
Is that weird that we can see it into her private life? And my ex worked as a tutor. He had a tutoring company, and his first thing that he would do before he would even talk to these tutors would look at their Facebook pages to make sure that they had clean pages, because you have parents looking on there. So it's like, I'm really aware.
Today, Just Mashable said 45% of employers check social media sites before hiring.
Wow.
So
which is more than LinkedIn.
It's
Facebook.
It's a standard.
Yeah.
I just tweeted that earlier today.
And I mentioned a personal experience, but I didn't feel the need to say Joe and I mean, who wants to know that except I'm talking to a friend. The commenters on the site were really offended that I didn't, not offended, but how does he feel about you calling him boy? And it's really interesting, because when you're presenting yourself out to the public, whether it's to your clients or to a huge website like that, or even just on your blog that you don't even know who's reading it, people are reading it.
Intentionally trying to be provocative to see what kind of response is generated from that, and you have the ability to be open because the company encourages it or supports it or you own it, then that's different than being unconscious of it, and then because people are going to take something and spin it a million different ways because everyone has a different opinion. But if you are doing something intentionally that you can stand behind, then you don't have to worry about what you post, because if someone misinterprets it, you can feel good about your decision that you made.
As to the point about blogging about clients, since I write about things that are interesting, sometimes I'll be doing an event for a client, and I'll want to talk about it because there's celebrities there and there's interesting stuff going on. But I'll always put a disclaimer note that this is my client. But I'm not really talking about that brand, the product itself. I'm just mentioning that I'm there because of them. So just so they know, it's not. I'm very upfront, so nobody feels like I'm trying to push a brand or anything. But usually, it all comes back to me and my experience at the event.
I'm still surprised. I've worked in advertising for a long time, and I'm still a little surprised that more companies haven't gone the blog route, because it's such a cool way to show your company's personality. That's all it is. So have the people who work there write the blogs. You don't have to write about, on your professional website, you can post amazing videos you've just completed, spots you've just produced, and this is our professional face. On your blog, you can talk about who worked on them and who they are, and this great party you had, and why did you have this party? Oh, to celebrate, we won this award, and why did you win it? Because so-and-so, and they're this great photographer on the side, or it's just extensions of your personality. That's all it is.
But it's relationship building, and it's trust. Building a relationship with who's listening to you and your clients, and the transparency behind that. Hey, I'm a person. I'm not just this PR company that's churning out press releases that have been edited by 100 different people. It's I'm real. You can call me, you can ask me a question, and obviously we're 20 people, but I think it's even more important for the brands that are much larger brands, and if any of you represent brands, to speak for that brand as a personality.
So how do you all balance out your digital life and then seeing people, and how does that work? Because I think that'll be really interesting.
I don't adhere to the digital diet thing because then I'm obese. Because I'm on 4 companies, I tweet for them sometimes. I'm on, pitching to bloggers on PR sites, so that's at minimum of 8 hours a day. Then I go to events so I can have stuff fodder to blog about, and then I go home like around 11 midnight and I have to blog and tweet, and I have Twitterberry on my phone, so I'm tweeting constantly. So there's like no break for me for email. Sometimes it's more maybe the weekend.
Do you ever feel like you want to just take a vacation? Have you ever done that?
No, then when I've taken vacation. No, I went on a cruise, a Scandinavian cruise, and then I was freaking out, where's an internet cafe? So
it's hard to find a balance. I actually recently took a vacation a few weeks ago, and I did not have internet connection. I had it on my iPhone, but I didn't use it, and I just threw up a post on my personal blog saying, I'm taking a break, and I really enjoyed it. And part of me felt maybe I would lose some readers, and I got more readers.
I wish there was more integration for like what is okay for me to speak about as a woman that's still relevant, you know?
There's Blog Her and all the women in that community. I just attended that Blog Her conference.
I'm part of Blog Her. I think you are too.
What is it?
Not anymore.
It's called Blog Her.
It's a media network.
Yeah, a women's blogger network, and they just had a conference in Chicago, so it's just all women.
The only rule for women who want to be more active is to just be more active and to just get out there and start trying things, and to definitely have a conversation with your companies about, or your coworkers about, what the standards or policies are, and just how you feel about posting different things. But once you have that ironed out, just try different things, and don't be afraid to.
I think going with what you said, Erica, it's like you should find what you like to talk about. Like, what do you talk about with your friends? Maybe that's what you should be blogging about.
Do you guys know about Tumblr? It's like a microblogging for idiots like me. Like, it's so cool because you can put anything on it. So you create an account, it's free. It's TUMBLR, and you can put a video, you can put a song, you can put a photo, and then you can write 2 sentences or 2 pages, and it's just a really cool way to kind of create a journal.
How do you manage all of these different media?
So overwhelming.
No, seriously, like there's so many different ones, and Marissa, you also like have an influx of a million links and emails coming in at you every minute of every day. How do you organize all of that information and then still go home and be able to sit down and focus and be like, okay, now I'm going to write my own post?
I'm so overwhelmed. And like I sit there and look at like websites all day long at work, for work, and try and figure out like what I'm looking at the time, and come home and go, okay, I'm gonna focus on my own thing, and I can't because I get distracted by something else.
One tool that I've just found recently, which you guys might know about, is Evernote, which I'm loving right now, and I feel like that has potential for helping all of us stay organized.
How have things changed for you guys in terms of, some of the old habits that you used to have, and what are some of your new ones? And I know Twitter is really popular right now.
I used to read all these newsletters in the New York Times, the BBC News religiously. Now I only read my Twitter feed. It's where I find my links, it's where I find pictures, recipes, and the same thing, it's how I'm organizing media. It's most of my texts now are through DMs, through Twitter. It's really interesting how it's completely changed how I communicate.
Yes. And just one final note, I just want to thank everyone here, because without you guys, there is no She Says.